Hello, YouTube. I hope this is working. Hmm. Oh, it is working. Okay. Hi. Hi, everybody. My name is Clyrese Minor. I am a financial strategist. I'm just trying to get Facebook here all situated. It's not working out. Oh gosh, this is my first time going live on YouTube. I'm super excited about what I have to talk to you guys about today. I said in 2017, at the end of 2017, that I was going to make this the year that I'm making sure that everybody is way more informed about finances, budgeting, credit, all this great, great stuff. So bear with me here while I get this my phone set up for going live. I'm live here on Facebook. Okay. Okay, so I'm ready. Hi everybody. Hey Facebook, how you guys doing? I am Clyrese Minor. I am your financial strategist and I'm the owner and founder of Financial Bondage Broken. And what we do is we help families with credit, money management, debt elimination, debt management. We also help families get improperly secure with life insurance so that when they pass on, their families are not bombarded with the burden of burial expenses and taking care of all the expenses that we're leaving behind. So I'm super excited about this, and I'm so excited. In 2017, I said that I was going to um, create where I can help families more often be more informed about finances in the areas of all the stuff that we have to offer. So today, the topic today is what are the hardest thing about budgeting is. When I work with my clients in the very, very beginning of our program, in the very, very beginning of the process of them getting to their goal, their financial goals, is changing their mindset, changing their habits about how they spending their money. So that is the hardest thing to break through with them. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. I want you guys to share where you're from and share where you're from, so I can say hi to you guys. Okay, so like I said, the hardest thing about budgeting is in the very, 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 very beginning is actually changing spending habits. A lot of times, some people, not everybody, I'm not saying everybody is in this circle, but my clientele, and a lot of some people, sometimes it is our spending habits. And when you're trying to stay focused and discipline yourself and change your build, start saving more and having more money in the bank and getting out of debt, is that you got to change your spending habits. You have to change your spending habits because the word of God says in Proverbs 26:11 that a fool returns to his folly. Like, that's just paraphrasing it. I did not open up the Bible scripture to read it for you guys, but that's paraphrasing it. So a fool will return to his folly, meaning that a fool will keep doing the same things over and over and over again and expecting a different result. How can you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result? That's like, I'm trying to think of an example. That's like, okay, a heavy set person. a person that is overweight, they're always saying that I want to lose weight. I got to lose weight. I'm too fat. And they keep eating cheesecakes. They keep eating, all this unhealthy food and processed food. And they just keep eating McDonald's and all that stuff. And then they're saying, I can't understand why I'm not losing weight. Well, you're not losing weight because you keep eating the same thing. If you keep eating McDonald's 3 times a week, you're not going to lose any weight. If you keep eating donuts every day, you're not going to lose any weight, right? So that's the same thing with budgeting. If you keep going out and impulsively spending things on things that you don't need to have right now or that you can't really afford, you're not going to start saving money. You're not going to get out of debt. So I want you to think about that. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. A story that I had I experienced about 5 years ago or so, 5 or more years ago. When I first started my journey, I was broke. Like I was about to lose my apartment. I was about to lose I didn't have car insurance. I didn't have a cell phone. I mean, I was completely in bad shape. And I was making enough money so that I could take care of myself. That I could take care of myself. I could take care of my son. And but I was broke and I couldn't understand why. But one morning, I will never forget, it was a really sunny day. It was a nice sunny day and I was at work. My background is in the nursing field. So I was a nursing assistant for about 8 years. And I was walking with my resident. It was so funny. I was walking with my resident and we were talking and it just popped into my head to calculate how much money I was spending at Wawa. Now, if you're not from this area, I'm in Delaware. So if you're not from this area, the Northeast coast, then you probably don't know about Wawa. Wawa is a nice store where you can just go and get all kinds of items. You can get anything from breakfast. You can even buy dinner there. You can get gas. It's in the really, really nice convenience store, and it's up and down the East Coast, the Northeast coast. Okay, so I was walking down the hallway with my resident. I was taking her to breakfast, and it just popped into my head to calculate how much I spent today. So I went to Wawa that morning. My son and I went to Wawa. We got breakfast sandwich, and I got a coffee. He got orange juice, right? And I spent about $7 or $8 there. So let's just round it up to $10, okay? I spent $10 at Wawa on breakfast and coffee, right? And I would do that about 3 or 4 times a week. So we'll just say that I did it 4 times a week just to make the numbers easy to calculate in my head quickly. So $10 4 times a week, okay? 10 times 4 is 40, right? So you multiply that. I was doing that every week. I would go to Wawa. Of course, I would check my account, make sure that I have money in there, and then I would go to Wawa. And I'm spending $40 a week. You multiply that times 4. What do you get? $160. So I'm spending around $160 a week on breakfast a month. I'm sorry, not a week, a month on breakfast alone for me and my child. We have food in the house. At that time, when I did the calculation, money was very scarce. I didn't even have food in the refrigerator. And I'm wondering why I'm having so much financial hardship. I'll tell you why. Because I'm spending $160 a month. I want you to think about, what do you excessively spend your money on that you don't need? Our thing was food. I like food. I like food. I like good food. And my son and I, we like to eat out. And as a single parent, I couldn't afford that. I can't even afford that in a 2-parent household with 2 incomes coming in the household. If we have a goal in mind, our goal is, we have a big goal. My goal is to make a certain amount this year and to make buy a home, right? That is the goal. So if I am frivolously spending, that was the goal back then too. If I'm spending $160 a month in a house, and eating out on just one meal alone, how much money am I going to be saving? Of course, I'm not saving anything because I was overdrafting my account. I had charge off, guys. I was overdrafting my account. But what I did was I just stopped spending it alone because altogether, because I was just so mad at myself for spending that much money. I should have known better, but I didn't because I was doing it. So I just stopped spending it. So I'm going to give you some tips on what you can do in order for you to get yourself in a better financial position. Okay. Tip number one, you can do what I did. Stop cold turkey. I stopped buying stuff, period. I wasn't even going out with the girls. I just stopped spending money because it wasn't benefiting me. It wasn't benefiting me. I was about to be homeless. I was about to go to jail or get my car repossessed or taken away from me because I didn't have car insurance. I'm driving illegally and I didn't have any food. So we were going to starve. All because I want to spend $160 a month on breakfast at Wawa. That's stupid, guys. Honestly, that is really, really stupid to spend that much money on something that you don't need, that you can do without. So you can stop spending money cold turkey. If you really dead on set on getting accomplishing a goal, stop spending cold turkey. And that's the fastest and the most effective way to get you to your goal. Okay. Second, if you can't do that, if you're not strong enough, if you're not strong enough to do that, that's fine too. But I want you to know that you can also start off small. Okay. Give yourself an allowance. I give my clients no more than $20 a week. And I don't budge on that. You can ask any of my clients, past and current, $20 a week. That's all you need. And in the beginning, they hate it. But at the end, when they start seeing the results, they start seeing them saving money. They start seeing the fact that, they have money in the account. They have money after they pay their bills. They are able to do the things that they want to do. Then they're like, I get it. So once they get to that point that they get it, then that's when we move on to the next step. And then, depending on their income, I will increase it to where they can do a little bit more. I mean, I'm not that hard on them but the point is, they have to find out what it is that they have to discipline themselves. That is the purpose of it. So you can either, two tips that I've given you thus far: stop cold turkey, right? You can stop spending money cold turkey, or you can give yourself a weekly allowance. Now, give yourself what you can afford. If you can afford $10 a week, give yourself $10 a week. If you can afford to give yourself $20 a week, give yourself $20 a week. But the purpose in it is so that you can teach yourself discipline. You have to stop spending money on things that you don't have any purpose for. It's not bringing you any purpose except for fleshly fulfillment. And if you don't need it, you don't need to have it. If you can wait to get it, then wait. But if you have a goal, you have to be focused on your goal. So focused on your goal, your financial goals, that okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on YouTube and it's saying your YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Oh, so I'm kind of choppy on YouTube. But my point is that you give yourself an allowance so that you are able to, get to your financial goals. If you want to buy a house this year, and you have a whole lot of debt, you can get your credit restored. I mean, that's not a problem. You can do that for days, and so that you can get yourself approved for the house. But if you already have bad spending habits, then guess what? You're going to find yourself right back into the same position that you were before you got your home. And now you'll be looking at foreclosure and things like that. So it's important that you start practicing better habits now. If you start transforming your mind to saying no to yourself, no to your kids, no to your family, as far as money, then you can get yourself in a better position. Third and last tip that I can give you is that you can also just do nothing. Like, just don't do anything and just go get your credit repaired, go buy your house that's probably too expensive, because every real estate agent is not going to have in mind what you can afford. They have in mind what you can get approved for and what is going to, line their pockets up. I'm not saying that every real estate agent is like that, but every real estate agent is not going to have your best interest at heart. As your Christian financial coach, financial strategist, that is my job, to make sure that you are in a position where you are able to get you to the point when you go buy your home, you're in that home forever. Like, you're able to, pass that house on to your kids, if that's what your heart desires. So this is Clyrese Minor. I'm your Christian financial strategist, and I have given you, some 3 tips on what you can do to be financially free. This concludes my live stream, and I'm going to let you guys go. Please, everybody, if this was very helpful to you, please feel free to, I don't like it, discard. Stop recording. Hello, hello, YouTube. How you doing today? How are you guys doing? I'm Clyrese Minor. I'm your financial strategist. I'm a Christian financial strategist. I'm not just a financial strategist, guys. So, at the end of 2017, I said that I am going to provide more information, more tools, more tips, everything in regards to financial finances and getting people out of debt. Like, this thing is really, really serious. It's the beginning of the year. It's 2018, and everybody wants to get out of debt. They say that every year. But my question is, what are you willing to invest in right now in order for you to get yourself out of debt, to get out of debt and be financially free in 2018? What are you willing to invest? Now, the key thing that you need to invest is discipline. If you're not ready to discipline yourself and change your spending habits, then it's going to be extremely difficult for you to get out of debt and stay out of debt. That's very, very, very important. Okay. So I want you guys to really understand that it's important that you have to discipline yourself so that you will stay out of debt. Okay. Now, it's one thing to get out of debt and go to your credit consultant and say, I want to get my credit better. I want a better credit score and things like that. But if the credit consultant is not talking to you about, strategies on how to keep yourself out of debt, then you need to run away from them, because, it's one thing to get your credit score better, but it's another thing to actually, stay out of debt, because you can go and get the house, and every real estate agent is not looking at your best interest, keeping your best interest in mind. They're looking at how they're going to line their pockets. And it's important that you stay well educated about your own finances. So, as a Christian financial strategist, my main purpose is to not just get you to the house, but to get you in the house and keep you in the house. So what I found that with my own clients in the very beginning, it's always hard for them to stay to budget. Like, budgeting consists of you actually changing your spending habits, like not continuing to do the same thing that you were doing before. Okay. In order for you to stay out of debt, you want to be able to stay out of debt, and you have to change your spending habit. So with that being said, the first thing that you want to do is find out what it is that's keeping you in debt. Okay. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. When I started my journey, I was dead broke. Like, I was completely broke. I was about to lose my home. I was about to lose my car because eventually it was going to get repossessed if I kept riding around with no insurance. I had no food in the refrigerator, and I worked. I didn't have bad habits like, excessively shopping, or I didn't have drug habits. I didn't smoke anything. I didn't drink anything. I just didn't manage my money appropriately. So I'm going to tell you a really funny story. When I was working as a nursing assistant, I was making about 25K a year. And it's so funny because when I was taking care of a resident, I was literally pushing her in her wheelchair down the hallway to the dining room for breakfast. And we were talking about something. I don't remember what we were talking about, but we were talking about something. And it just popped in my head that this is exactly what popped in my head. Clyrese, you spent $10 at Wawa this morning. And I was like, And then I started thinking, darn, I go there like 3 or 4 times a week. So if I spend $10 a day, 3 or 4 times a week, let's say I was going 4 times a week, okay? That's $40 a week I'm wasting at Wawa, and I'm just buying breakfast sandwiches, coffee, and something to drink for my son to go with his breakfast. And I might even get like some chips, or I might buy lunch, depending on how I felt. So I'm spending $40 a week, right? $40 a week, and I'm spending, that means that when you multiply 40 times 4, I'm spending $160 a month in breakfast. Can you imagine that? Spending $160 a month in breakfast alone. I'm not going to the hairdresser. I'm not doing anything but wasting my hard-earned money. And then I'm wondering why I'm always broke. Like, my expenses was not more than my income every month. That I'm talking about my net. They were not more than my income every month, but yet I'm broke, like really, really broke. So that opened my eyes. Like, Clyrese, you got to do better. Enough is enough, and I was sick of it. So you want to know what I did? And this is where I come in with the tips. If you find yourself in that situation, but it's not food, but you see yourself, you're spending too much money, maybe it's shopping, maybe it's vacationing, maybe whatever it is. If you find yourself spending too much money in certain things, I want you to evaluate yourself. What is more important? If you got a goal, your 2018 goal was to get out of debt. Is your current spending habits keeping you from getting out of debt? I want you to think about that and listen to these tips that I have for you. So the one thing that you can do to get yourself out of debt is do nothing, right? But that's not going to get you out of debt. That's going to keep you into your same situation, right? Proverbs 26:11. I did not open up the Bible, but I do know what it says. It says that a fool, let me look for it. I'm going to look for it. I am. Because I want you guys to understand, this is a Bible-based, Christian-based company. So there will be scriptures. I just want to warn you guys that there will be scriptures. Proverbs 26:11. But I want to read it to you guys. Shoot. All right. Bible Hub. That's where we're going to go to. It says, the NIV version, which is New International Version, says, as a dog returns to its vomit, so a fool returns to his folly. So if you do nothing, you're just like a dog returning to his poop. Okay? You're just like a dog returning to his poop. You cannot repeat the same habits and expecting a different result. That's like a fat person. I'm sorry for all the overweight people out there. There's no offense. I'm not a thin person either, but if we continue to go to McDonald's wanting to lose weight, but if we continue to go get 5 cookies out of the cookie jar, or go to McDonald's and get the Big Mac and eat all this processed food and all this sweet stuff, how can we expect to lose weight but then keep saying I want to lose weight? Like, I'm fat. I don't want to be fat anymore, but I want to lose weight, but I'm going to continue to eat, fried chicken every night and fried foods every night, and don't eat, the appropriate portion of vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. If we continue to eat the processed stuff and don't eat our fruits and vegetables and eat all this cake and stuff like that, then how can we expect to lose weight? That's the same thing when it comes to managing your money. If you continue with the poor money habits and spending habits, how can you expect to lose to get out of debt? Now, you can come to me, you can come to Financial Bondage Broken, you can come to Clyrese Minor and say, Clyrese, I need to get my credit repaired. Now, there are three questions that I'm going to ask you. What prompts you to want to get your credit in order? Okay. What made it so urgent now? You've been in bad debt for a long time. What is making it so urgent now that you have to get out of debt? Okay. That's one. Two, I'm going to ask you if you have a savings account. If you tell me that you want to go buy a house, you need a savings account, and I need to know if you are actively putting money in that savings account. Okay? 3, I'm going to ask you if you have a life insurance policy, because if you have children, if you have a spouse, if you have a family, and you purchasing making a major purchase like a home, and that's a debt. So if you have children and you have income coming into the home, even if you don't have income, let's say you are a stay-at-home mom or dad, and your wife or your husband is the breadwinner, they're bringing all the money into the house. Something happens to you, your family is in distress, even if you don't have you the stay-at-home mom or dad. Your family, that puts a financial burden on you, because now your spouse has to go and hire somebody to take care of the kids, to make sure that the kids are okay. They have to be the ones to take time away from work to make sure that they get, even if it's teenage kids, they have to make sure that the teenagers are okay. They got to cook the dinner. They have to do all this other stuff that you were doing as the stay-at-home parent. Okay, so I'm going to ask you if you have life insurance. If you do not have these 3 things and all you want to do is give credit, then I'm going to talk to you about all the other things, all the 3 other services that we have available, the 2 other services that we have available. Money management, so that you can get your emergency savings account in order. And we're going to talk about life insurance policies. So, back to the first tip that I was saying, you can do nothing and not just keep doing your same habits, spending money when you don't have, eating out all the time and things like that. You can do that and just get your credit repaired. And then when you go out and purchase your home, you won't have the necessary things, the things that you need in order to put yourself in a better financial position. Okay. So, like I said in Proverbs 26:11, as a dog returns his vomit, I mean, that's not poop. Vomit is throw up. I'm sorry. As the dog returns to his vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. That's what the word of God says. So let's change our habits, and instead of not doing anything, let's do something. Now, the one thing that I did when I made myself upset and decided that enough was enough, I'm tired of being broke, I stopped cold turkey. I would not go out with the girls. Indeed, I did not. I did not go to Wawa anymore. Wawa is like a nice convenience store that is prominently in the northeast of the U.S. So that's what I did. I stopped going to Wawa cold turkey. There were mornings where I wanted to go like really, really bad, and I didn't feel like fixing breakfast, getting up earlier to fix breakfast, but I did. That's what I had to do. Actually, I didn't get up earlier. I just like kind of prepped it the night before, and then I would cook it in the morning. So I didn't want to get up earlier, but that's what I did. and my son and I had breakfast. I stopped buying coffee because it didn't taste the same as as it does at Wawa, their fresh brewed coffee. I stopped buying Wawa coffee. I stopped drinking coffee, period, because I didn't like any other coffee. So, and I drink tea, and I love tea with lemon in it. So that's what I did, and I stopped eating, buying my lunch every day at work, and I started packing my own lunch. I cooked dinner out at night. I took out what we were going to eat that night before I left for work, and when I came home, I was ready to prepare dinner. Okay, so you got to change your lifestyle. This is a lifestyle change. Budgeting is a lifestyle change. Lifestyle change. Having good debt and having good credit is a lifestyle change. That's what is required. So you want to be able to do these things, okay? So stop spending cold turkey. It is the most fastest and the most effective way and quickest way to change your lifestyle, okay? Your money lifestyle, okay? Second thing is that I give with my clients, because a lot of them are not ready to stop doing things cold turkey. They're not disciplined enough. But I give them an allowance now, and I start them off small. It doesn't matter how much of an income that they have. I start them out small, no more than $20. Now, when they get that $20 allowance, they give me the craziest look. But in the end, when they start seeing the change and they start seeing their money growing, they start seeing, their money growing, they have money in the account after they've paid their bills and things like that. They're thanking me, because, and then once they reach that point, that's when I say, okay, we can put a little bit more into your pocket so that you can, you want to reward yourself. But at the beginning, it's time to just go hard and not and changing those habits. So, and they start seeing the results. They start seeing that, oh yes, I do have more money. Now, Christmas time is a little harder because we all want to do something really nice for our family, for our kids and stuff like that. But I still stick with that same budget, and I'm with them and with you for the long haul. So that concludes my tips for today on how to, the hardest thing, talking to you guys about the hardest thing about sticking to a budget. Okay, so I hope that this live stream was very, very informational. I hope that it served you. The purpose was for you to help you get out of that and get out of that rut that you're in, because you said in 2018 that you did not want to be in debt anymore. So I had to come on here and tell you that the hardest thing about getting out of debt is the hardest thing about budgeting is stopping your current habits. You have to just like transform your mind and like look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is you want to have a better life for your family financially, and it requires change. If you don't want to change, then you're not going to, I'm sorry, but you're not going to be able to reach your financial goals. Okay. And then you either start looking at other ways that you can, increase your income quickly, or you start being depressed and unmotivated, and you might even become bitter because you see the same cycle going on over and over again, and you can't understand why. So I encourage you to read Proverbs 26:11, study it, and get the revelation from it, because it's very, very important that you know that repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is foolish and it's insane. Okay, so this is Clyrese Minor. I'm the owner and founder of Financial Bondage Broken. We have a financial seminar here in Newcastle, Delaware this evening at 6 o'clock at the Rose Hill Community Center. And I am so excited, and I cannot wait to get get there and get started and meet the fabulous people that are looking forward to it and getting their goals. We're going to talk about goal settings tonight, guys. We're going to talk about goals, and I'm going to give you strategies on what you can do to get yourself in the position to being out of debt. So this is Clyrese Minor. I am signing off, and I will see you guys this evening. All right. I love you guys. Take care. Bye.